now that we're all ready and we are all as chill as we can be, some of us are more chiller than others. I would look at the two to my left. If you're looking at Chris's screen, somewhere else on the screen.
But
How many times have we told you don't point? Because all our screens are different.
Okay, so I got you. Welcome back to the first ever almost playoff edition of the Three Amigos podcast. We're almost there. We're all looking extra chill. Chris has 2 jackets on in Arizona for some reason. I am not wearing a jacket in Tennessee, and the boys over here are looking way too cool. And some would say a different island, maybe Dutch. What's the other one? What's the other part of the island?
French.
French, yes. Some would say Dutch, some would say French. I would say I don't know which one they're in. So why don't you take over there, Jay, and introduce who you have to your left?
Well, it's probably our number one fan. Listens to every single podcast.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
It's the Cowboy maker himself. This is my dad, Mr. Wade, but you call him Dad.
Yeah, Dad. Yeah, Dad. And the only fan base in the playoffs. So that's a big plus. Maybe that's why he's on the podcast today, because he wants to really gloat on us.
Oh no, not after that last game.
It was embarrassing, but you know what's even more embarrassing? Being a Big 12 school and playing an SEC school in a championship game that really shouldn't have been played, because I don't know about you guys, but I turned it off after about a half because I was really bored.
Yeah, I stopped watching at halftime as well. It was brutal.
It
was very embarrassing as a Michigan fan too. It was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. We just had a tight boat race with them that we lost, and then they'd go and get curb stomped.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think that Michigan was preparing past TCU because they didn't think TCU was going to be that much of a challenge for them at all. So they were looking ahead at either hitting Ohio State in the face again or going after Georgia. And I mean, I honestly got caught with the pants down. That was it.
That's what I'm worried about too.
Yeah,
and that's been the cripple for Michigan. There can't
TCU came out in that Michigan game super pumped up. They looked jacked. We talked about it last week. This game, they didn't look the same. Like right off the bat, they had a false start in the opening play. Like they looked nervous.
Well, so did Georgia, which was super weird. You know, I was watching with a buddy, and he goes, it just looks like they're the younger brother that just is happy to be there. You know, they're not expecting to win, but they're just happy to be in the championship game. They're TCU. They're really a small school compared to other schools. Like, just happy to be there.
You could only get 7 points out of that whole entire game.
I know. One of the highest scoring offenses in college football, and they get 7 points.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Their defense
that just shows you how little defense the Big 12 plays.
Yeah, that's. Well, I mean, they played well against that deep. That's what the shocker was. I don't know if it was JJ playing bad or if it was TCU's defense actually playing really well. 2 pick sixes, and your defense does nothing for you in the next game. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Georgia.
And I love all the memes going around where it's like, yeah, this 25-year-old man's like pooping on these 19-year-old kids. He's so old.
He's old, but he had to get his shot. It was like a long road. I think people don't know that. Like he was literally in JUCO. He went to, I think he was originally at USC, then transferred to Georgia. Like,
well, he declined the offer to go to USC to walk on at his dream school.
That's cool.
Yeah. He's 29-3 as a starter at Georgia, which is kind of insane. I would love to talk more about it, but I mean, it was so boring that what was the final score? Like 64-7 or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, 59 or something.
It was just sad.
Chris, I'm just sorry.
Did you see the TCU watch party?
No.
Oh, it was depressing. It was so depressing. By the end, there was like only a scattering of people still in the basketball arena at TCU.
That's pretty sad. what was really cool though before, I don't know if you got, maybe it was before it, but Tim Tebow finally in the CFB Hall of Fame.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He
And
deserves it.
Yeah, I forgot how prolific of a college football player that guy was. Crazy.
No, insanely good in college for sure.
I didn't say NFL, I said college.
That was his peak level.
Yeah. But what, two national championships and a Heisman?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, it was cool to see him get in. But Reggie Bush got in as well. They should give him his Heisman.
They should
back.
give him his Heisman back.
100%.
Yeah.
Instead, the NCAA is too busy fining Michigan for Harbaugh buying a recruit a hamburger.
We thought it was COVID related. We didn't know.
Every team does it. It's just they're going after him right now for whatever reason. It's
Yeah. It's super stupid.
Yeah. Well, I think he only just embarrasses TCU, but also embarrasses Michigan a little bit for getting their shit stomped. I have to just
For
say
sure.
that secret.
No, it does.
And it makes Ohio State look that much better. They took him to a really good game. You know?
Well, here's the thing. Football is a game of matchups. And the way Michigan matches up with Ohio State, it makes me want to believe, okay, we could have at least not gotten our asses kicked that badly. Could have at least put on like 21 points up there.
A better defense. That
Absolutely.
defense would have stuck, but
Yeah.
you just got in that game and couldn't make it bad.
Well, you saw what a Big Ten defense did to him. I mean, they shut Brock Bowers down whenever Ohio State played him. He had what, like two
Right.
catches?
Yeah.
Last night he was doing all types. You're telling me he was doing
killing
all
it.
types of things.
They were wearing like wheel.
It-
Ridiculous.
It was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
he looked crazy good.
I was laughing because I haven't really watched Georgia that much, even though being in the South. But it was funny to see him throw. I think it was the Bowers. It's the same person. He was thrown to himself. When you look at him side by side, I was like, this guy's the same. They look exactly the same. Same builds. I was like, what is going on right now?
Yep. And what was it? McConkey was healthy in this one too, and he caught a few. I mean, really good ones. So, I mean, Georgia they came to win.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is the next question. Stetson has done the things he's done in college. Does he go to the NFL?
Look at these
Yeah.
NFL caliber.
He'll get
No.
drafted though. He'll
Okay,
get
does he
signed.
do well in the NFL? I guess is the next question. So he'll get I think he'll get drafted, of course, first or second round. But
Probably late
Not
first.
first.
You think?
No, he won't. First. No way he's in the top 3.
look,
That's true.
okay, look what he's done in college.
Same age as Lamar Jackson.
It does not matter. Look what he's done.
Longevity game. At the end of the day.
Yeah, but a lot of people could point to, okay, but look at the team around him.
Yeah,
And he's not going to have, the nation's best receivers and O-line in front of him when he's in the NFL.
Justin just ripped through the seat.
Hell yeah.
You just
How
sank
feel?
down? Hey, you're on the
Um,
beach. Enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it. Yeah. I would love to talk more about that, but I really don't think there's much to talk about in that aspect of college football. But I would I would love to swing to the it sucks to win but not be in, And I think Chris and I can relate with that. It sucks to do everything that you were supposed to do. I guess not the whole season, but at the end of the game or at the last game and still not get in. It just sucks.
It does, but
Wait, you have to introduce it. You have to set it up.
Yeah,
You
I
can't just-
know. I don't really want to because it's just so sad to see, but I got you. I got you. I got
paint
you.
the
And
picture.
I would love to introduce a fellow who what yeah, I'm not nope. I would love to introduce a fellow who might be the most bipolar person about his team. I would love to have him talk about the season that was, what could have happened, what almost happened, but what didn't happen. And I would love to introduce for the last time of the 2022-2023 NFL season, the Lions Den.
The Lions Den.
That one's dead. There's been a
Bam,
kneecap.
that one's dead. The Kneecap Diner, the burnt down diner.
Yes.
What the hell is
The
this?
burnt down kneecap diner.
Yeah.
overall, I'm very happy with the season. We had a winning record. As a Lions fan, a winning record is a playoff berth. Like you can't shut that down as a success, especially when we started 1-6. At 1-6, I thought this organization is cursed beyond cursed. It doesn't matter who you put in there, they're not going to be winners ever. And I was proved to be wrong-ish. They went on a run. They ended up shooting themselves in the foot by losing to the Panthers. And you could argue, obviously, that tight loss to the Seahawks earlier in the year, if that would have gone our way, the end of that game would have felt a lot different. But regardless, winning record, and it was so satisfying picking off Aaron Rodgers multiple times, knocking him out of the playoffs, and potentially retiring him.
Yes.
So I'm happy. I can't really complain. I'm excited for the future. We got 2 more first-round picks next year. Let's hope we hit on them because this team's moving in the right direction.
I always have things I love to talk about when it comes to Chris, especially that I've been the only Lions fan this entire podcast through and through. Where Chris at one was over it. Chris, at one point, I think it was week 7, is when you guys were 1-6, right? You had made some really strong claims that the coach needed to be fired. You guys needed to clean house. You needed X.
I apologized about that.
But it's the end of the season. You finally got a winning record. What's your thoughts? What are your coach? Because you apologize for it, but do you still feel the same way? Do you think you can give him another shot? I am curious to hear you. And Alex,
Alex is totally frozen. No, I don't want any of the coaches fired. In fact, right now I'm worried that the offensive coordinator is about to get hired somewhere. I obviously think they deserve another year. I also think we need to keep Jared Goff as the quarterback. I don't think he is our issue, is why we didn't get into the playoffs this year.
No, I think your issue was just the beginning. If you guys would have played 2 games better, not one, just 1 or 2, you guys would have been in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Our defense is young.
Yeah. They're very enjoyable to watch.
2 first-round picks, dude. You guys are going to be in.
That play they had with the toss back to Swift from Amon, that I thought for sure he was about to get tackled.
Oh yeah, it was it was so weird because it was going to look. I was like, what the fuck? That was such a short pass. And the next thing you know, just DeAndre Swift.
Yeah,
but he only got
he's
9.
just gone. Yeah.
The Lions have a shot to be the team that everybody thought the Broncos were going to be this year. Because everybody's afraid with Russell Wilson coming in and, oh no, the Broncos are going to. You got a great defense. No, the Lions have that shot.
I mean, it depends what the Vikings do in offseason. Tip in the next couple of years, you guys could run the NFC North, which would be.
I would love it.
In space, they'll get orgasmic.
I'm pumped.
But
we retire Rodgers and then make the division ours.
Doesn't that sound sweet?
It sounds like 27 years of pain finally paying off.
Yeah. I am dead.
I have to tell you, I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. So I am so happy that you guys did that to the Green Bay Packers and to him. I mean,
it was beautiful.
Who wants to see him in another?
He's so full of himself.
Another crappy haircut and another crappy year.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a huge Aaron Rodgers fan. I don't want to hear it, okay?
Yeah, we know you're a fanboy of Aaron Rodgers.
I'm a huge Aaron Rodgers fan, so I don't want to hear it, okay?
You're back. Welcome back. The shirt that you have on. Can you show the screen? Show the team.
Oh yeah, this is the Solon shirt that Jay got me. It's nice and it's got a nice, pretty naked lady on the back.
Wait, is this the t-shirt bet?
No.
This is just for funsies. I don't know what you guys were talking about, but I'm guessing it was about how much Aaron Rodgers is a critical part of the Green Bay Packers and how great he's been in the NFL and how amazing his run has been as a double-time MVP. He's not going to win it this year, but how that's probably what you guys are talking about, yeah?
No, we're actually
No.
talking about how great it was watching Hutchinson make him his bitch.
Listen, I'm not. Some say potato, some say potato. I say potato. Okay, so
We'll do a couple Lions dens in the future. Obviously, when things start heating back up for you in the NFL, because your time has now come to a close. Chris, it's been a long season for you. It's been a weird season for you.
Very weird.
Happy? You said?
I'm very happy. Yep. I think we're heading into the off season in the right direction. So I can't complain.
The only other person that could be more happy than you right now is probably Alex. And
Yeah.
go to work. Dude, you want to just take it away and get all excited that you did something?
So listen, I'm not going to.
How does it
beating
feel?
So beating the Ravens might be one of the greatest feelings you'll ever experience as a sports fan. Chris, you felt it when you beat the Green Bay Packers, right?
Yeah, but the Packers had Rodgers. You guys didn't have Lamar.
It doesn't matter who was there or who wasn't there. All that matters is they win. It doesn't matter. It's the NFL, baby. The team is a team, you know. So we're gonna go with it, and we're gonna say it was. I'm gonna be honest with you. My season as well has been up and down. I haven't been the most optimistic about the Steelers.
Mister, I pick them every week.
You have been in Chris's shoes and been as mad as Chris has. You have always picked with your heart. Liar.
Okay, maybe I have been optimistic about them, but listen, when it comes down to the final game, and you're 8-8, and your coach of 16 years has never had a losing season, what do? You put your pants on and you win a fucking game, and that's what we did. Okay, I didn't do anything. I was just a fan. I was just watching. I wish, upon a star, but it happened. Okay, and it's a glorious feeling to know that. Sure, the Jets don't know how. Joe Flacco, even not playing for the Ravens, still knows how to fuck the Steelers. Okay, don't understand it. He can't win a game against the Miami Dolphins with some guy named Thompson. Never heard of the guy. Okay, and we don't make the playoffs, but that's okay. It's okay. Because we did come in just a tad bit worse than the Lions, which is not the best thing you want to hear when you see the draft and you have the pick before the Lions. It's not a great feeling when the Lions have been so shitty and now you got to pick. You get to pick before them. But it was nice to see Najee run some cool plays. Pickett had a weird year where his balls don't touch the ground, guys. You know this. And he throws many of interceptions, but the last 3 games he played his heart out. He got 2 come from behind wins. So what can I be thankful for but this, But having a team that looks good, and we're not going to take another 10 years between Bradshaw and Ben to find our next quarterback.
Yeah, I think Pickett came back strong at the end of the year. We made fun of him a lot through it, but even though you guys maybe didn't have high scoring games and you guys weren't really the most productive offense, you didn't do all these great things, somehow you still managed to find a way to win. And I think that's what you need from somebody. The rest will come.
That's the Steelers mentality, baby.
But 9-8. Congratulations. I'm glad you made it 500, all 500. That was a really scary thing.
I didn't think they were going to get it at a certain point.
No, me neither, bro. I was very scared. I'll be honest with you. It wasn't the best feeling. It wasn't the worst feeling, though, because we could have been in a scenario where we didn't even get to play a chance for above 500. So it was nice to just even have that opportunity to play above 500, be 8-8 at the end of the season, and now be able to say we're 9-8, and we are still 16 years running. But now here is the question. What happens? How many years can we go until he has a losing record? Can we go for his entire career? How long will that career be? Mike Tomlin is only maybe 50? How long can he actually coach for? Are we looking at another Bill Belichick era where the man coaches for every team, but Mike Tomlin only coaches for the Steelers? And how long can he do it, These are
Thomas.
the questions. And he found a new quarterback, so maybe he's excited that he wants to stay around, someone that he can coach with. It's his baby.
So we know with Chris, your defense is the one that needs the most help this offseason, if anything. Alex, what position do you think, or what side of the ball, first off, do you think needs the most help? And if you know position, then great. But you guys are where do you need
definitely the opposite. We need help on the offense, and if anywhere, the offensive line. So like we're really good at receiver. Well, I say really good is not like a scenario, but the Steelers know how to pick wide receivers.
You know how to pick people drop ball.
No. Devontae Johnson was the only starting number 1 receiver this year without a touchdown. I understand it seems like a really cool fact, but it's not. I would really love for a number 1 to score a touchdown. And that's okay if he didn't, because we have Pickett to Pickens now, which is a lethal combination. And that man, it seems like the moment that his balls touch his hands, he catches it.
Pickens is a beast.
Yeah, he is. So I would say definitely offensive line. They really were not from 1 year ago to being one of the best offensive lines in the league to this year to like looking like it was the 4 of us out there missing an offensive line half the time. It was, it was pretty bad. But I think that's definitely where they go. And if they don't go there, I don't know where they would go because they don't really need much on the defensive side of the ball. Maybe a corner, but like that'd be the only thing in defense that we really need. And we don't need too much on wide receiver. We already have Najee, who you're not going to find a better running back in the draft than Najee. And maybe Chris's hate for Najee in the ESPN fantasy world is a little too much, but you're going to probably go offensive line. And when you have such a high draft pick, we haven't had one of these in a while. So,
I just had a question and I think I just lost it. But, do you guys, I didn't ask you because I don't think you guys have any like big people you need to sign as free agency. But Alex, do you guys have looking that you need to like re-sign, and if you can, because I think those are also really great questions.
Actually, I think we have Jamal Williams.
I loved him.
I hope we keep him.
He did. I don't know if you saw his little like Instagram thing where someone was like, "Pokemon, Pokemon."
Oh yeah,
yeah, that shit was hella funny. So I don't think that we need to sign anybody. I'm looking real quick because the only person I can think of is Minka, but I think no, his is good. We don't have too many people in 2024 that we're like nervous about. Alex Highsmith. He is a pretty good pass rusher. His is up in 2024. But yeah, no, we're looking pretty good until the end of the year. We have Mitchell Trubisky. That one's a little scary. Maybe we might not be able to keep him. I don't know about that one. But what? Yeah, we're not going to keep him. I don't think we should keep him. You know who we should bring back? We should bring back Charlie Batch, our lifetime backup behind Ben. Yeah, Charlie Batch, man. That's who I think we should bring back. But other than that, I think that's everything. And I would love for my vocal regulators or ears to listen to Chris just say one last, not even maybe not the last, maybe the last. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? But one final regular season Cowboys corner.
It is time to talk about the only team in this podcast making the playoffs. However, they played like shit last week, so Justin brought some backup. It is the Cowboy Corner. Take it away, boys. How are you feeling?
Okay, so real quick before we preface this. My dad is like Chris. I am like Alex. With a little bit of both. And secondly, I just have to say this is the best thing ever. The first time we've done this podcast and finally I've done it. Alex, fuck you didn't make it to the playoffs. You guys normally always do. That's what you want. You finally had a shot, like you didn't make it. And out of all of this, always hate on me for being a Cowboys fan. Fuck you both. We're
well deserved.
Honestly, yeah, I'll take it.
Then we make the playoffs. How deep we go? We'll see. That's always to be determined. We start off with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so that's going to be an interesting one right off the bat. Starting our season with them losing. I don't want to end our season with them losing, but who knows? We could shit the bed. So, but
Yeah. Well, we're just gonna like going into the playoffs. Let's just talk about last week's game. Probably one of Dak's worst performances I've ever seen. And I didn't even see it. I just saw stats, and holy God, that looked completely awful.
Yeah.
Which is really scary because typically at this point you want to see the opposite, and we still had an opportunity to get the first seed, yet we blew chunks against the Commanders and lost that opportunity, even though we were waiting on the Eagles. Yeah, the Eagles and Giants game was a big part of it, but like you still don't want to lose that game. And if you were going to lose that game, then take out your fucking starters.
right.
Why the fuck did you play them in the second half? Knowing
The entire game.
You weren't going to win. It didn't look like you were going to win. So why don't you just go, you know what, dude? Let's just put Cooper Rush in. Maybe you won with Cooper Rush. Yeah, anyways. Really bad performance.
Yeah. Probably really bad.
Yeah,
play
I mean,
calls.
you lost to Sam Howell and Jarrett Peterson. I never heard of both those people.
In our defense, I think about this. One, how do you prepare to play? Right. Sam Howell's only played college ball. He's never played in the NFL. And so they're going to make a whole system around him, and they're going to do things. And it is still a rival, and it's still going to be a tough game because all those games were divisional games, and they're going to be tough. So kudos to the Commanders for trying to do it. They weren't going to make the playoffs, so why not fuck us? So that's great. As regard to the playoffs, no, fuck, man. Like, if everybody I wanted to play, and I want to play Tom Brady.
Not right off the bat.
No, but there's going to be good things here. One, it's going to be redemption for us because we got our ass. We didn't get whooped, but we played a tough game against them. But they're more injury plagued than they were when we played them the first time, and we look better than they. Great, and I would love to potentially take Tom Brady out of the playoffs for the last time. Because he may not play next year. Let's be real. He may play, may not play. He got this divorce. Who knows? But let's go with like Chris and Aaron Rodgers. Like, hey, potentially this last game, you feel great. I would love for the Cowboys to be that person. I think we have the hardest run into the playoffs. Besides, no one wants to play San Fran and no one wants to play the Eagles. But I much have rather been on that side of things and played those teams than play Tampa and then the Eagles and then San Fran. We play the hardest fucking teams. So it would be
horrible.
Horrible, but necessary.
Necessary.
I mean, because if you can't beat them, you don't deserve to be there. So you got to.
True.
I'll give you that.
People on the beach. We were at the beach one day and somebody overheard someone talking about the Cowboys. And what did they say?
He said they'll play good enough to disappoint their fans.
That's pretty funny.
That should be their new tagline.
At least it is so hard to beat a team twice in the same year that, like, I just feel like the odds are more in your favor going in there. Like you said, they're way more injury prone, and you guys are playing a lot differently than you were at the time.
So it'll be it's just hard, and it's one thing where I think this is where you'll get the less optimistic side of me because, well, every season I've seen the Cowboys make it to the playoffs, we've nothing.
Yeah, I want to believe we were looking past the Commanders, and once again, you know, a team that does that, you're not going to win. And the NFL, I mean, any given Sunday, and the Commanders were playing a stronger second half of the season than they started off with, obviously, because they were shite in the beginning. So, I mean, I think we have a really good shot at Tampa Bay. I really do.
I think we have a good shot.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I just think it's going to be.
It's going to rely heavily on Dak Prescott, whatever the fuck it's called.
It doesn't matter. He doesn't get a name until he actually gets a name.
I was laughing the other day because Wade left a great comment on one of our last videos about Dak and his picks and his commercials. And then yesterday I go and I click on, I think it was a Skip Bayless clip of him talking about Dak, and the two ads that played before the video were two Dak Prescott commercials back to back.
Right.
It was so funny.
Here's what the number is. They care what your passing numbers are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your sleep score?
Okay. But do you say Dak has another, like, I guess it goes either way. Like, if Dak has an amazing run this year, you keep him. But what if Dak doesn't? What do you do? Keep him?
Just need him. You have to
Just
keep him.
paid him.
Yeah, I think they still are stuck with him.
Okay.
We could
That's gnarly.
look get out of the rest of his contract, but
It's not.
who's going to want him?
It's not stuck
Yeah.
because everybody can say what they want about Dak at the end of the day, and everybody can have their own opinion. This is my personal opinion. Dak, for who he is a really. He has the potential to be a great quarterback. I think this season, between his thumb injury and then coming back and trying to get back in the swing of things, it's just not been his best season. But we found ways to win games, and our offense is not. It is what it has been. I mean, at one point we had Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. This year we just had CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup, and then Michael Gallup got hurt. So we just had CeeDee Lamb. Like, you can't look at this year and be like, "Oh, this is Dak Prescott for the future," and that's what every analyst is going to do at this point right now, right? Is what do you do with him? What do you do this? Blah blah blah. This year, that there. You don't look at the overall holistic approach of it, in the sense it's not all on him. And truthfully, when I look at it, I don't even think it's him. I think it's Kellen Moore and our offensive coordinator.
He calls shit calls.
I don't like Kellen Moore.
No.
I think out of everything that we've done, he doesn't do what the Cowboys offense used to be. Like, we're kind of like the Steelers. Yo, we're gonna ground and pound in your fucking throat, and you're gonna feel it, and then we're gonna throw it all over you.
But that's also
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy does not like to ground and pound.
He's a
Like,
West
your
Coast.
running backs always get fat.
But they're still throwing like these passes, and like they're not doing anything calling in plays. We're calling like weird plays on like 3rd and 8 where we need to get the first down, and they're throwing it at like the 2-3 yards in and having
I
them run.
hate that.
Which I hate that too, because you're just relying on someone running, and what they'll end up doing is they'll run vertical, horizontal side to side, not vertically. This offseason, the biggest changes you'll see is within our coaching staff.
You think Mike
For sure.
McCarthy's gone?
But I think Dan Quinn leaves.
Sad.
Yeah, he could get hired somewhere.
Go
But I
back to
think
Houston.
he was just requested permission by the Broncos to interview for that position.
Mm.
I hope he gets it, just because they also just interviewed Harbaugh.
He did?
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. They're saying that Harbaugh might be making them move back to NFL.
Well,
Well, if he gets in trouble with his college stuff, he probably will be moving back to the NFL.
Yeah, why deal with that?
Yeah, do you have anything else to say about the Cowboys before we roll into this? You're the one that actually has seen some success, and you've been thinking about back to the 90s. Do we
I actually went to the last Super Bowl they went to.
Really?
I was there.
That's crazy.
There
Was that the one here in at the Sun Devil Stadium?
Sun Devil State?
Who we beat?
Hey, Alex, who was that against?
Oh, I think my memory is a little foggy on that one, man. I don't. I just remember 2005 and before. I don't, or after. I don't really remember
yeah.
anything.
Amnesia,
Anything
huh?
after. Yeah, it's really weird, man. Like, I don't think I was born yet. I don't think.
We just want to talk about how well we,
Right.
not what we're doing. But I think that for the regular season Cowboys corner, man, it's been fun. Thank you for being here on the last one.
Yeah.
I didn't have a choice to be a Cowboys fan. I was bred one. That's how it happens.
I've been
Damn.
one for
I love it.
Wow.
I think we should now jump in just to the week of football real quick. We had some weirdly wild games. We had the Seahawks in dramatic fashion beat the Rams.
Oh my God.
It was pretty It was pretty dramatic, dude. It was pretty sad to know that you're going into your game and it was like maybe an hour before the game started. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the whole game was so tension heavy.
I saw
and then
some
it
dumb
happened.
Lions fans who wanted to lose to stick it to the Seahawks because they felt like the refs helped them win that game and all that, and the previous game that we had against them. And I just think that's so dumb. Like beating Aaron Rodgers is way better than that. So I'm rooting for Geno and the Seahawks going into the playoffs.
They're not
Yeah, I
really
like that
Lions
mentality.
playoffs.
Right?
What's that?
That's true Lions fans. Because who would want Aaron Rodgers? If you're a Lions fan, why'd you want Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs?
Yeah, exactly. I don't get that either.
Yeah.
Second, I looked at the score and I was like, no way. The Rams are about to beat the Seahawks. This is everything Chris wanted and more. And you got quiet in the group chat because you were really excited for the moment. And then everything went silent. And I looked at the game. I saw it went to OT. God damn, Chris is screwed.
Yeah. that was you got real quiet, bro.
So I wasn't actually watching when the game went to OT. I had to step away, and I was texting Nick, who was watching it, and I was like, "We just need the Rams to win the coin toss," and he goes, "Seahawks won it." I'm like, "We're fucked." Now it didn't come down to that first drive, but I knew, I kind of had a feeling right then and there we were done.
And at one point, if you guys do not mention me in fantasy football, I will murder both of you.
Why? Did something happen?
When this season started, none of us would have thought that only the Cowboys would be making the playoffs. I thought that none of us were going to make the playoffs, honestly. And none of us would have thought that Justin Darlington would be the number 1 seed, right? You were the number 1, right? Number 2. Okay, you lost the number 1 seed at like the last game, right? The number 2 seed going in to the playoffs and go to the championship game.
For what?
For our fantasy league.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I know. And I just have to congratulate you. You are finally a fantasy football champion in our league. You were the last one to get it. It took only 7 years or something like that, but you finally got it. How does it? I would like to open the floor to you. Just tell us what this moment means to you and your family.
Everything. I gotta just thank God and everybody that helps me. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm so
Is this why you guys are down on the beach? Is this a celebratory vacation?
Cigars came out for
cigars.
100%. Yes.
Cubans, no less.
I have been.
Ooh.
I have not won. After 7 long seasons, I finally win.
Yeah.
You went to Shiva.
I win. And not only I beat Chris's here's the sad part is I feel bad for Chris's brother. I feel like I don't deserve it, but I deserve it because I played well all season. I went 11-4, I think, the whole time. But TJ and me had such a close game that it would have went one or the other. And I'm happy I got the win out of that one. I should have just played Madden like everybody else. Dope. But to beat Nick, your friend, kind of sweet. I wish it was Eric, but even better. I don't care how I do it. But I didn't think I was gonna win. I had Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams both on my team, and they both needed to get, I think, 20 combined points.
Jamal Williams had a fucking game.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was gonna win. I was like, dude, I'm gonna just go to bed. And then I woke up, fucking champ. Where's my belt?
We'll have Nick come on here and share his side of the story too. But that was actually his first fantasy football Super Bowl ever. So he was pretty psyched. Yeah. And he's come close so many times. And when we were watching the Lions game and Jamal got that second touchdown, he goes, I don't know how to feel right now. Because he knew he was screwed at that point.
Of all people, Jamal Williams, he was a saving grace. I think I picked him up off the waiver wires. And then he goes ahead and has 17 touchdowns the entire season. He breaks a record for the Lions, most touchdowns in the season, beating a very, very, very old record, except by Barry Sanders, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Extra game.
Fucking Aaron Jones tried to choke with a fumble and no touchdowns, but like, hey, Jamal Williams, 2 TDs. That last one is what saved me. And he, I think, ended up having like 14 of the 20 points that I needed in order to win that game. So no, thank you, Alex, for this moment. But yes, it feels so great. It is so exciting because I've never won in all these fantasy leagues. I've been very, very close multiple times that it just feels good to finally have a chip.
Was this your first ever? Nice.
Soak it in.
Always been good. I've always made it to like the semis or the quarters. I've never been on the losing side of it. And to finally like just make it through, it was good. It was a good time, good season. And I did it with mediocre players. They just all averaged really well.
It was a weird year for fantasy this year. I was pretty shit all year in every league. So, actually,
I was the only person in playoff contention.
yes, I understand. And actually, in one league that I've been in, this is the shit that I've had. I've been in this league for 4 years. I've come in second place 4 years in a row. It's been
sucks.
horrible.
Has it been different people winning it?
Yes. Just every year.
That
I can't
sucks.
like I literally my team just doesn't know how to we do a 2-week playoff, so it's really
Yeah.
hard. So I
I like those.
20 points. I'm like, fuck. But it's I was the first one to ever get a chip, even though some would say it's illegitimate, even though some would say that maybe there's controversy.
There
that
was a
goes along.
Spygate at the draft with you and Justin.
Maybe there was a Spygate at the draft. Maybe I got
Alex. Not once, twice, 3 times.
Maybe I got uncommissioned. I had to step down and retire as a commissioner.
That's true.
And I'm not the only one that's had to do that before. Actually, we've had quite a few people had to step down and retire. And that leads us into what some people don't like to call Black Monday, but Black Monday for any NFL and GM coach after the season. And we had quite a few. I don't think that people deserved it. I think a couple did, but not everybody. The one I'll start with that I don't think deserved it was Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith, he did not deserve to get fired. That team gave everything for him. They were competitive all year long. I think he had no quarterback. He played with like 4 different quarterbacks, and he still, I don't know.
One question.
Yeah. What?
Why do you think he got fired?
Because they sucked. I mean, like they were pretty bad, but they didn't. What this was his what?
The underlining reason, because like a lot of people, like I think, because he won that game, that was an underlining reason to why they were like, no, fuck that. You should have won that game.
Yeah.
Because they had the number 1 pick, and then they went from number 1 to what pick are they now? Like 3, 4, 5, something like that.
I think 3.
But like, still, they had a chance to get Bryce Young, who everybody wants,
Mm-hmm.
and then he won the game. What do you guys think
Almost
about
makes
that?
me
Well,
wonder
they got-
if he
they got the
knew
second
he
pick.
was on his way out or something.
They're down to 2. So
Oh,
the
they're only
Bears,
down to 2?
But it's the Bears 1. So that
And
doesn't
the
make
Bears
sense
aren't
to
going
me.
to take a QB.
They're not going to take a quarterback. They have Justin Fields, the Justin
Yeah.
Fields Chicago Bears. You know what I mean?
I don't know if you just even watched or heard some like that. Just I guess experts. I'm gonna call them experts because I don't necessarily think they're all experts on what they're trying to do with that pick or what they're trying to get from it. Because I know like San Fran traded like 3 first-round picks a couple years ago to get Trey Lance, in the draft, and people want to use leverage for that for the Bears to get more picks. The Bears to pick a quarterback, maybe I don't know, but who would they even get?
Well, that they would. So I could see maybe the Titans moving from 11 to 1, trading that and some other draft picks to maybe get a quarterback, because I don't think that Willis was the answer that Vrabel was looking for, and I don't think that him and Tannehill are on the best of terms. So I think it's time. They have a young stud wide receiver, but maybe they go out for a quarterback. Maybe I can't believe the Lions have the 6th pick. Look at that. Maybe they trade up.
But
No.
yes,
No, there's nothing to trade up for.
however, I don't agree with the Lovie Smith thing,
Maybe
and I
the
think
Colts trade up. They're at 4. Maybe they trade up in some draft picks. But yeah, I don't agree with it. But I think that it had to do with this was a bridge gap. This was a bridge season. They had nothing planned for this season. I think Lovie Smith was a bridge coach, and that they're just going to bring in somebody now that they have such a high draft pick to now what do you want to do? Because they ultimately obviously don't want Lovie Smith to be that coach for the next 5 years.
Yeah, he wasn't going to be the coach. He wasn't going to be the one that's going to take them anywhere. Like you said, he's a bridge.
for somebody else. We've got probably the most, I would say the most surprising but unsurprising. Sorry, Cliff Kingsbury. I would say surprising because they made a lot of choices off of him and the GM's like decision this year with going after Hollywood, signing Kyler, like all these big decisions off of Kingsbury and Keim, and then they both one steps away and one is fired. Like it's just a weird, why would you let them do all that stuff to then just have them both be gone?
It was probably their last chance, and nothing they did panned out for them. So it was time to go bye-bye. And I think Kyler and Cliff's relationship went downhill, and he's the only reason why they hired Cliff to begin with. I mean, he wasn't really qualified. So
You know how Chris feels about Cliff.
Yes, we
There's,
do.
but I would second that. I mean, what do you think?
Well, absolutely. I absolutely agree with it. I think he was definitely going to be on the chopping block, and I think Keim was going to be on the chopping block, but he had so much time with the team that they probably just let him save grace and step away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think that needed a lot of saving, and they did the complete opposite of what they were supposed to do this year. I mean, for being what they were last year to being what they were this year, like, dude, that's like worst turnaround I've ever seen.
And if I'm a Cardinals fan, I say Kyler, sit out one more year, tank, and get another good draft pick next year and start over 2 years from now. Dude, he tore his ACL at the end of the season. Like, sit out one more full year. Like, what? Maybe come back for the last like 3 games and just like get some practice in. But it's a hard day. I mean, like, you see a bunch of people come back from it and not be the same. Look at Bradford.
I heard now at the Cardinals are trying to shop DeAndre Hopkins.
really,
Interesting.
Yes,
so they're full rebuild.
Does that mean that you shop DeAndre Hopkins and take like a Marvin Jones Jr. in the draft with number 3? Or like, do you try to just go after a young receiver?
Wrong name.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison. Where's Marvin Jones Jr. coming from? Is he in the NFL? He's in the NFL.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, he's in the NFL. Yeah, whatever. But do you think you could go after a young wide receiver with that 3 pick? Because you obviously don't need a quarterback. Maybe you go after interior defense because you have to replace JJ Watt.
Their O-line is also horrible.
Yeah, I mean, they need a lot. But so sad to see JJ Watt leave the field for the last time, not as a Texan. Like, I understand he did it as a Cardinal. I understand, but you guys don't have any relationship to the Watt brothers. We have 2 of them on our team.
Yeah, but who
Maybe-
doesn't love JJ?
Well, maybe he'll do the same thing that Emmitt Smith did. Emmitt Smith went back to the Cowboys and retired a Cowboy. So
Sign
maybe
a-
he'll
Sign a 10-day and go back to the Cowboy. Or like, go back to the
go back to Texans.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
He'll probably do that.
what an incredible career. Even through all his ups and downs and all the different he struggled with injuries. He did so many great things as a defensive player, as a person for the organization. It's just really a hats off and a salute. You got to be really excited that you even got to witness that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Solid
That was-
person.
It's fun. And I think that's
Everybody who's been on the chopping block. Do we have other people who potentially could be on the chopping block?
It hasn't already-
Was Zach Wilson?
Mid-season.
He's gone.
yeah, Zach Wilson. But did you see his quote about he'll make the life living hell for the person that they bring, the veteran that they bring in, or something like that?
No.
I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it was like, I'm going to make it hard on him if they bring in a veteran quarterback or something like that. And I was like, what the heck?
Basically
don't
saying
really-
I'm going to compete.
And make his life hell. Like, no, just like literally like saying like, I'm going to make his life hell. I don't really check my sources. So if I see something, I think it's true. But so like this could
We
be
love
completely
that.
wrong. Yeah. It could be
I
completely
think
wrong.
another guy who could be on the chopping block, depending on how this weekend goes, is Brandon Staley with the Chargers,
Agreed.
because they've
Yeah.
got a lot of talent.
Honestly, maybe even Harbaugh.
I think more likely Lamar's gone than
Yeah.
Harbaugh.
But who do you have? That's a whole.
Picking it up?
No,
No.
I don't think so. I think what should be on the chopping block is Russell Wilson's office.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
That's ridiculous.
They give me so much grief for making fun of that on here, but it's weird.
2 of his parking spots because he has 3.
Yeah.
He's got 3 parking spots. He drives 1 car.
Yeah, but he's got people.
Oh, it's people.
You're forgetting about team 3.
Yeah. See, now, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I understand he doesn't use it like this, but if you had an office as a quarterback and you were like, okay, every Wednesday it's just me and the receivers. Every Thursday it's me and the O lineman. Like if you were like, okay, this is why I have the office. It's for this specific reason, and I just want no coaches involved. This is a very players only place. Like people come here and hang out and we do our thing. We learn football, but it doesn't seem like that's what it's for. It seems like it's for like.
See, then you have an offensive office and you sign it out on Wednesdays and meet with the receivers. And on the other to meet. And the other days,
But he looked okay. I know. I get today. He looked much better this last week, leaving than he did all season, which is great without their head coach. It's just gonna be interesting. But yeah, I agree. He's off. Yeah. He doesn't.
Was it Hackett? Was it their team sucks? Was he had no chemistry? Probably all of the above, right? Russell's still a like legendary quarterback in everyone's eyes. Maybe not everyone's eyes, but he'll still be in the Hall of Fame at one point.
He might visit it for fun. Yeah, I could see that. Go there for like the Hall of Fame game. Like I could see him enjoying that.
I can't with you. Okay. Enough about who's got fired, but how about more about who's moving on and who's moving up? And let's make some we don't have any we don't have any real like long games coming up, but we have some fun games coming up. Like Chris said, December is one of his favorite time of year. You get football on Saturday and you get football on Sunday. You get football 2 days a week on the weekends that you can watch. And that's where the wild card comes in.
Yeah, but we're in January now, bud.
Okay, buddy. I don't want to hear it, bud. And we've got some fun. I would say this is one of the weirdest matchups and I've seen in the playoffs in a while because you have a lot of divisional teams playing each other in the first week. Which is I don't know how it's gonna plan out, but it's gonna be fun. So, boys, are you ready to make our picks for the season for the playoffs? Yeah, Wade, how do you feel about this? Usually, the guy next to you, your son, comes in first every single week. Somehow, some way. Don't understand it.
I'm smart, logical, and you guys are all emotional as fuck. That's why it is.
Probably a little bit of that. He's always been very smart about football, so I give him that. For sure.
So how do you feel your chances are this year? Do you think you're going to beat him this week? Do you think you're going
to beat me?
Oh, yeah. You know what? It depends. We might have a lot of the same picks just because kind of similar mindsets.
Yeah. I mean, we've attempted that every now and then to just follow Justin's pick. And then about halfway through it, we get off the rail and started picking emotionally again. And it doesn't always
usually we get to the Ravens game and then like Alex just cannot bring himself to pick them.
Yeah, the Browns are the worst
Browns
in the NFL, dude. I mean, they lost to the Steelers, so it's pretty bad. Okay, so we're gonna start off really nice and hot and heavy, and probably I think the probably the most boring game this playoff, the 49ers and the Seahawks.
49ers.
Yeah, 49ers.
Niners. Yeah.
Niners. Okay, cool. It's gonna be boring.
That's another reason why I'm okay with the turn of events is I can end the season feeling happy where if we made it in, I would end the season watching them get their asses kicked from the 49ers.
But this is also interesting. Is Brock Purdy going to be the Brock Purdy we saw in the regular season? Is he going to, now that the game's bigger, is he actually going to make that next step? Like that's all the things, he's been great for sure for the regular season, but now you take that next step and you've had the Seahawks who maybe not have always been there, but Pete Carroll's been there. Gino's been in the league forever. So I don't know. It might be more fun than I think.
I think sometimes you make brash statements where you're like, this is going to be a boring game. It's a divisional game. They play them twice a year already, and they're playing them again. You can't say it's a boring game because it's going to be a tough game, and it's a playoff game. Everybody's there. Yes, the 49ers look the best. They have the better team. They're all our weapons back, and it's a no-brainer that they're going to win. But you can't go out there thinking that you're just kicking off these fuckers and the game. Like, Brock Purdy, I think it doesn't matter what Brock Purdy does because
They got a Bosa.
Yeah, they got a Bosa, they have a Debo, they have a Christian McCaffrey, they have a Brandon Ayuk, they have George Kittle. They have a ton of weapons that it doesn't. That's the best part I think about the 49ers offense is you can put a couple different quarterbacks in there. It'll still be good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't put one of them in there and he might not be good, but I think that's a topic we've beat to death out here. And that's Trey Lance. And so we're moving on to the AFC side of the ball. And we've got I think a very fun game. The Chargers and the Jags. The Jags defense has won them the last like 2 or 3 games. Can they continue it? Can they keep it up?
I don't think
This
so.
one's tough. You going
I know.
Chargers?
Chargers, because they again have a Bosa.
Yeah.
They do have a Bosa.
Craziest, but they seem to make a difference when it comes to defense. They just do.
Big, beautiful men that just know how to tackle men. I wish I was one of those men.
I'll go with the Chargers as well. I think Justin Herbert is going to light it up, especially because it sounds like Mike Williams should be playing. Maybe I'll feel differently if I find out he's not, but I'll go with the Chargers.
I'm going a little bit south of me. I'm going the Jaguars. I'm taking a turn. I think that their defense has been dirty the last couple of weeks. I think Trevor Lawrence is looking more beautiful than ever with his hair. And so I'm really feeling the Jaguars train. So I'm taking them. I don't know. See what happens.
Justin.
I'm gonna be different too, and I'm gonna go with the Jaguars. And because the Jaguars are hot. You can't stop a hot team. Hot teams are really, 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 really hard to like put an end to.
But they've been hot for a while.
Yeah.
So they got to cool off.
But you talk about Brandon Staley, and then he's potentially on the chopping block and things like this. His offense is like Justin Herbert. I would not be mad if either team wins, right? I think at the end of the day, because I like Justin Herbert. I think the Chargers are one team that has to prove something because there's not that many Chargers fans. It's kind of like the Jaguars, right? They're both teams that like don't really have a huge fan base.
Mm-hmm.
But I like what Doug Peterson has done in his first year. And I think, Chris, of all people, I thought you would pick the Jags because, well, Urban Meyer did shit with them all last year. And then
trust me, I'm happy for them. And I think it would be hilarious to go from that Urban Meyer disaster to a playoff win. But I just think the Chargers
they have made way more
more matured talent. Yeah.
I think there's a lot, but at the end of the day, I think again, you guys talk about any given Sunday, and the Jaguars they beat the Cowboys. They beat who they beat just barely.
The Titans.
Titans.
Like, yeah, it was on a last minute thing.
Divisional game.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers win, but I'm just feeling weird, and I'm going to go with the Jags.
They're in Jacksonville too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're playing.
So they're the South leaders.
Yeah, they're playing at home. So we're taking them, It's okay. 2 of us are going to be sad. And those 2 are not me and Jay. Okay, we've got the next AFC divisional game again. Dolphins, Bills. Is Tua
playing?
Yeah, that's the big thing. Is Tua playing? Is he not playing? Is Tua ever coming back to football after 2 concussions?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bills.
Bills.
I think Bills is the only option, and they're dude. Okay, so the Patriots needed to lose to the Bills, and the Jets needed to lose to Miami for the Steelers to get in. The freaking Patriots-Bills game was so nerve-wracking because it was like the Patriots
for a while.
The Patriots, and then all of a sudden it'd be like, okay, here's 75 yards for a touchdown, play after play, and I was like, oh my god, the Bills are so good.
Yeah, I think they should be considered a favorite going into this playoff still. I think they had a little bit of a rough patch, but they've gotten it together and have looked. And now that, emotion can really drive you. And now this like Damar Hamlin story, like I feel like that's only going to add fuel to their fire.
And what are the odds that he's actually like he's there? If he's there, that team's winning.
Oh, I guarantee. Well, I don't guarantee you. I think if they stay in the playoffs long enough, he'll be at one of those games, in person.
I'm not saying playing. I'm just saying there.
No. I know. I just mean in person.
Yeah,
because I think he's still receiving medical treatment in Buffalo, even though he's back there.
even though he's back home, he's still going
yeah,
to the hospital.
I think I'm pretty sure. But I think that could be a huge boost to this team, to rally around that and around him and go to the next level.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. And we're gonna take a quick break and see if we can get Justin back on here before. Whoa, look at that. Look at that.
Back.
You're
Yes.
back, baby.
Data internationally, so I'm done. We're now down to the last two with Dad's phone.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We'll make it quick then.
We'll make it quick then. And I think we got a really quick game here, and that's the Giants and the Vikings.
Giants.
Giant.
Damn, you guys are riding.
I'm
with
a
the
Kirk
Giants?
Cousins hater. I think the Vikings overall are overrated this year. And yeah, I think the Giants will get them.
I agree.
Alex, I don't know, dude.
Both counts. I hate Kirk Cousins too much.
See, the thing is, I've literally, as they say, have been on the dicks of every team in the East in the NFC besides the Cowboys. And so do I continue doing that, or do I try a new one out? Like, this is the real question, you know?
All right, here's my spins on it. One, it could go either way. I hope the Giants win because I think that would be more fun that they win. Because it's really disappointing for the Vikings and things like that. But the Vikings have always found a way to win. I don't know.
Yeah, because the coaches are both first-year coaches. Like, it's actually a pretty good matchup. But I have to go with the new guy, you know? He's enticing me over the Vikings. I just think that, like you said, they've found a way to win enough times in the playoffs, and I know they haven't gotten far, but they found enough ways to win enough times in the playoffs that they have literally games named after them. So
they have a game.
Whatever, a game, games, same thing.
And they went on after that game to get spanked.
It doesn't matter, but they won that game, and so
there wasn't even this team.
I'm taking the Vikings.
I hate you, Alex, but I love you at the same time, and I don't like that we're picking similar, but I'm picking with you.
Yeah, you shouldn't feel confident there.
Here's my reasons why. One, Daniel Jones have never been in the playoffs. He's unexperienced when it comes to the playoffs, and the Giants is the first time they made the playoffs in the last 2-3 years. So it's a challenge. Where like Kirk Cousins has been in the playoffs, whether he's done good or what he hasn't done and what he has doesn't really matter until the big game. I don't know. It's gonna be hard. This is another one I can go both ways. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm gonna be different too.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
It's gonna.
Vikings.
Hey, it's
yeah. He's gonna have the last
controversial.
laugh, so it doesn't matter.
He's gonna have a laugh, maybe not the last one, because we've been picking the same, and that's good or bad, like you guys said. Now we've got probably the absolute worst team to make the playoffs, and I can't believe that they even snuck in. They don't even have a quarterback. Their coaching staff is. I don't care if they're 10-7. Their coaching staff is not great. And then we have a team that actually could do something in the playoffs and makes the AFC North proud to be in the AFC North. And that's the Bengals. Now, the other team that's trash is the Ravens. So this is the teams that we're playing. So who'd you guys like to pick in this team?
Joey B.
Yeah, Joey B. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
Bengals. Regardless of Lamar, I think you got to go Bengals.
Yeah.
I love Lamar, but like again, we just mentioned Joey B is hot, and I like hot teams. I like teams who are on a streak and are winning. And Bengals have one out. They lost what? Like I think they were 1-4 at one point,
Something
and they
like
ended the
that.
season 12-4. That's insane.
Yeah.
They won 11 games straight.
They've been on a tear, and most of the ladies in the world would also agree with your statement that Joey B is hot. So we are moving on to, I think, the game of the podcast, the one that you guys have all come to hear. Who is going to win the Cowboys versus the Bucks down in Florida? And I'll let the two Cowboys fans answer last because I feel like that's appropriate, so we can give the actual honest statement. And my answer is not going to shock you, or it might, because I'm actually going to choose the Cowboys. I'm taking the boys on this pick.
I actually figured that you would. I'm going to obviously ride with my boy Tom Brady.
Of course, but Tom Brady has looked like shit except for the last game. And
that team in general has looked like
horrible.
Shit. And I think if there was ever a year to have to go to Tom Brady's home and play him in the playoffs, this is the year. Yeah. So I don't feel great about this pick, but I am going to ride with Brady.
Mm-hmm. Is this an emotional pick and a hard pick for you, Chris?
Yeah, that was a hard pick.
Did you pick with your heart?
Of course.
For sure.
Yeah, he picked Brady, bro. What do you mean? Did he pick with his heart?
Heart and head, Cowboys.
I would expect nothing less. If you guys didn't pick the Cowboys, I would turn the Zoom off and make you guys redo the whole podcast because you need to get in the right mindset. And that's what we've got for the wild card. The wild card weekend. I just have one question. Now that we know the teams in the playoffs, now that we know who's there, what are your guys' Super Bowl predictions?
Oof.
I hate to say it. I think it's going to be probably like Bills Niners.
Ooh, that'd be fun. Brock Purdy. Purdy. Rocking with Brock.
Yeah.
I have to do it because I picked them before the beginning of the season and decided not to make a bet. Taking the Eagles. I know you guys hate me. Don't worry. The Eagles, and I think it's going to be a battle of the number 1 seeds, and that's going to suck. But I think it's going to be Eagles Chiefs.
I have a weird feeling it's going to be a rematch of a Super Bowl we just recently saw, and it's going to be Chiefs 49ers. If it's not, I think still the 49ers, but I think the Bengals could sneak in there instead.
You guys are riding with Brock hard. Oh my God.
I'm more riding with that defense.
Yeah, I get that.
That defense is scary.
Defense wins championships.
Yes, it does. All right, Jay, who you got? You can pick with your heart. You can pick the Cowboys. It's okay.
Dude, honestly, like the NFC is obviously harder, but like when I look at the matchups and just looking at the playoff picture, I think the determinant game is going to be that Bills-Bengals game if they make it there, because they didn't get to play each other, which is super, like, really, really important, really. And I don't know, dude. I think I love Josh Allen. I want him to really win, but like I don't know, man. It's hard to beat Joey B when it comes to playoffs. I mean, he only has been one, but like can't deny he made it to the Super Bowl and he played still good football.
Yeah.
That team still looks good, and I think they could beat them. But it's going to be it's between the Bengals and the Chiefs, because the Chiefs are scary good too. The offense is still doing things without what they consider the number 1 wide receiver and doing all this. So I'm going to think it's one of them, and I am going to pick with my heart. It's either going to be 49ers or Cowboys, but I'm going to say it's going to be a Cowboys-Chiefs Super Bowl.
Let's go. I love it. I love to hear it. The Cowboys finally making the Super Bowl in Arizona.
Hey, I'm hoping.
Actually, how crazy would that be if they did make the Super Bowl in Arizona after the last one that they were in was here in Arizona?
It's not a coincidence.
And won it again on a pick.
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it in the past. Yeah. So to end the final of the show, this is a big finale of the regular season. The boys and I are going to give you our 2022-2023 NFL MVP.
Our MVP?
Yep. Who you think deserves the MVP title this year? Now, we know in the past they may have been corrupted. Did Aaron Rodgers deserve it last year? Probably
No.
not. Did he get it? Yes. Did he deserve it the year before? Maybe. A little bit more yes than no, but maybe not. They're not the best at picking the MVP, but here we are. They're who we have. So who do you guys think we got? Who do you think the Writers Association is going to pick? Right, that's who picks the writers.
Well, are we picking our picks or someone else's picks?
No, like who do you think is going to be MVP? Like who do you think should be MVP? If who do you think is going to be MVP?
That sucks. I don't know. I don't
I
like that
know.
because
It's usually always quarterbacks. Yeah.
it's gonna be Patrick Mahomes.
What are you talking about? Last year it was Aaron Rodgers. The year before that was Aaron Rodgers. The year before that was probably a quarterback.
Quarterback. It's gonna be Patrick Mahomes in that eyes.
I think if Hurts didn't get hurt, he might have had a good chance.
He would have had it. He would have had the chance. He would have won it because he's had a phenomenal. But can't deny what Patrick Mahomes has been able to do without Tyreek Hill. And they remember what they said? Oh, they were going to be nothing without him.
Okay, let's scratch that and let's go. Who do you want the MVP to be? Because I don't know who's
Aiden Hutchinson.
Okay, I don't want to hear it. You don't know.
Real one.
Jared Goff.
No, a real one.
Not a Lions player.
No, it's like you said. I think if Hurts didn't get hurt, he would have deserved it. And now that he did, I think Justin's spot on. I think they give it to Mahomes because he's still having a terrific year. Like him and Travis Kelce are tearing it up.
But if I had a pick to who I would want to be, I have between two people. I have between Justin Jefferson, because I do this baller all season except one game. Or I would pick Nick Bosa.
But I don't think they're going to give it to Nick Bosa because even when TJ Watt last year tied the sack record.
Oh, no. Okay, that was personal, not.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I know. I'm saying I would love actually for Nick Bosa to win it this year, for finally not a quarterback to win it. But like just seeing what TJ Watt did last year and then not getting 3 less sacks, like I would freaking be livid. I would be happy and livid if he won.
But again, I only have quarterbacks considered right now in the MVP. Like they're not. That's not going to happen. That's just my personal MVP.
Yeah. I think it's gonna. I think they go Mahomes, but I really hope that they give Defensive Player of the Year to Bosa. He deserves it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they will.
I hope they give Rookie of the Year to Hutchinson though. I hope they give it to him.
I think they will.
Yeah.
Him or Sauce. I mean, but he kind of fell off after like 5 or 6.
He's got more picks than Sauce.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The argument for Sauce is that he's such a lockdown corner that he doesn't get a lot of targets.
Yeah. Which I mean, it's exactly what you want but I mean, I guess so was Deion Sanders, but look how many picks he had.
Yeah, for sure. But rookie year.
Yeah, rookie year. Yeah, but you can't have not all of us gonna have 3 picks, I think that's all we got for you boys. The boys down on the beach. You got anything for us?
That's crazy. It's fast. Today was fast.
Yeah. No, just sunning. That's all we're doing. Sunning and funning.
Jealous.
Fun and very jelly. We'll keep it warm for us. Keep it don't get too sunburnt. I know that you probably have already gotten sunburnt. Apply your lotion. If you need help, there are people there that might help you apply it. Other than that, Chris, do you have anything for us on the last regular season episode of our first season?
Yeah. Next year, Lions Super Bowl. Let's go.
Oh my God. Oh man.
I'm placing a bet.
I have a mini segment that I just want to roll off on.
Let's do it.
All right. You probably again have been our number one fan. I think you watch every single one of them.
Not probably is our number one fan.
Yeah, he comments on everything
of how we've done, the boys.
Oh, you guys are actually I'm gonna see if I can do an analogy of like a team that's come on strong towards the end, and I say you guys are like the Bengals. I mean, not that you started off slow by any means, but you've definitely gotten stronger as the season's gone on. You guys have seriously, I mean, every show has gotten better and better. I mean, really good with the talks, really good with the subject matter. You guys keep it flowing really well. So I've really enjoyed it. I have.
Thank you.
I enjoy being a fan.
He doesn't realize that with that comparison, he just started an argument between us over who's Joey B.
It's there's only one of us that's Joey B. It's the guy on the beach.
Yeah, it's me. is
it's
true.
Justin. It's
Smoking a
100%
cigar.
Justin. Yeah. Smoking a ciggy. Sorry, a cigar, not a ciggy. Whew, sorry for all my cigarette smokers out there. Never offend you again. And if I were to pick anybody that you would be on the Bengals, Chris, you would definitely be. You're gonna be
If we're going all time on the Bengals,
no.
your
Chris
ass better not
Collinsworth.
say Andy Dalton for one. For two,
No,
I'd go with Vontez Perfect.
No. You would be you'd be Joe Mixon. That's who you'd be.
I'll take that.
And I'll be Jamar Chase.
No.
Come on. You'd be Jamar T. Higgins.
I don't even know who you would be.
I'm on the coaching staff.
Who's
I
the
get
guy
it.
that probably wipes Jamar Chase's ass when he's got to take an in-game dump?
No. I've been that job before. You don't want that job.
Out of all those, Alex is more like the coach.
Yeah.
Like in this, like, he's gonna like lead it and do these things and have this. He's gonna say some stupid stuff, and we're gonna be like, no, that's not happening.
I may throw the plays out there, and you may audible, but I'm always trying to get him out there to you guys.
So who's ready for their jazz bath?
Well, I think that's the perfect way to end the final episode of the regular season. And if you want to follow us anywhere, this has been a hot topic, and it will continually be a hot topic. It's at 3 Amigos Podcast on all socials. There's no the, but if you happen to be at a search bar and type in the 3 Amigos, we will also show up. So don't be afraid to use the, but we don't technically have the. And other than that, thanks for following along for the last 18 weeks. We can't wait to show you what playoff 3 Amigos looks like. We can't wait to show you what Super Bowl 3 Amigos looks like. And we can't wait to show you what the off season with the 3 Amigos looks like. So keep your pants buckled and come sit down and watch us. And until next time in playoff season, have a good night.
See you next time, boys.
Night.